Hello, this is the Batwing from the Lego Batman movie. With over 1,000 pieces, this was a pretty serious build, especially for something from a movie that was essentially a parody. It's also a pretty heavy thing, fairly dense, especially in its core, with a lot of strength required to hold the wings out and to also be able to do some transformations. For one thing, you've got this cannon up on the top, which doubles as an actuator for the rotation of the engine pods. And those engine pods are huge. Notice that they're rotating around the wings. I mean, the wing struts are inside of each of these assemblies. And you have to have gears in there as well to be able to move in a different direction from where you're actually turning. So the gear train actually comes down from above, turns these smaller gears on the sides, and then turns these very large geared turntables. It's very smooth and it's very secure. And yet, through all of that, through this center section, which has a hole going through there in order to hold the wing steady, you also have these ratcheted joints to allow you to change the angles of the wings so that you can put this down kind of like the scuttler in that bat on the ground kind of pose. Use the two of those together as you like to do the whole vertical takeoff and landing sort of thing. You just access this from out here. The wings have to be done manually. You can bring the wings all the way out completely horizontal. They do not go up at all, but they can go flat, which makes them pretty wide. I feel like the design of this thing, though accurate to the movie, is in the movie a little bit stumpy. You know, it seems a little bit tall in the fuselage, maybe short in the fuselage. It's just a lot of the dimensions seem short, but again, that's just how it is in the movie. Surprisingly, even though it has all that mechanism that's built into this thing, and you also have the ability to slightly change some of these smaller surfaces out here, just kind of adjust things a little bit. There's also usable space inside of this, back where you would expect the mechanism to be taking up all of the space. So they have structure and mechanism and extra space. A little cargo bay back here with a small go-kart that you can deploy for Robin, that he could actually drive around on this thing. It's very small, but I guess alternately you could put something else back there if you wanted to. But that's nice. Just really super efficient use of space. And this thing does have a good amount of detail and texture on it as you look around from different angles. It doesn't have really ugly angles from most of the ways that you would actually use this. I don't like seeing the base of this 4x4 plate here, but other than that, it's set up pretty nicely, including lots of texture on the top of the wing. It does use a lot of stickers up here, but the good news is that they don't add too much. The stickers themselves, you know, the pieces definitely add a lot of texture. The stickers are almost subtle. You know, from a distance you might not even notice them at all. So if you don't like those and you don't want to deal with all those, just leave them off. It'll still look really good, the whole thing. I do like using the stickers in closer here, and also these ones on the engine pods, because I feel like they do definitely add to the look of the thing. This canopy piece is new as a print. That is a printed canopy piece, which I think is great. I think it looks really good, and it'll be super useful for custom builds as well, because there's nothing about it that is absolutely specific to anything Batman related. It could definitely be used for other custom things. And I always love to see that, especially with prints. It's one of the difficult things when they do make prints. You know, a lot of us ask for prints instead of stickers, but sometimes, oftentimes, prints will make something really specific and very recognizable. And I guess you kind of see those as being the bat ears, if you see just right there, but it's easy to look past that. You can open up the canopy, and then there are two seats in there, and there's a decent amount of detail. I'll actually take the figures out so you can see that better. Stickers are used for details on the sides, plus for the pilot's position in the front, there are two control sticks. The top view really shows the bat silhouette there, and I think that this is the most elegant view of the thing and the most well developed. It's really nice to see it like this. I only wish there was a way to appreciate it like this more easily. but there just reasonably isn't, unless you come up with your own mount to put it on a wall or something. This also has a good amount of detail on the top of the fuselage with some bars and, you know, the other kind of grill details and such. I think even the underside looks unexpectedly good with the extra transparent pieces placed in there to represent lights or small thrusters, and just the overall arrangement of colors and the swap between the gray areas and the black areas is well defined and seems like it has purpose. So it doesn't look random like a lot of Lego craft do from underneath. Either wing has two things that you can shoot with as well that you can optionally use or leave off. Spring-loaded shooter out towards the tip, and then a disc launcher right here. This uses just plain discs. They're not even printed in this case, interestingly. Has a little remote activator back here, so you don't need to bury your finger down in there. Just push against this on the back, which uses the nice light bluish gray colored Technic ball end, which is an uncommon color for that piece, and you just push it in and off that goes. That went about 6 feet, so not too far, but these spring-loaded shooters work really well. That went about 8 feet, I would say. Interestingly, the front view looks more sleek to me and makes it look like it has different proportions than it does from other views. Very much reminds me of the Russian fighter jet, the MiG-25 Foxbat. The figures are, of course, Batman, Robin, and Harley Quinn. The most interesting of these, to me, being the Harley Quinn figure. It's another excellent minifigurification of that character, a very high-class figure in general, with a specialized hairpiece that they created for this one. Also has a new specialized tutu piece, which has been printed, so it's half black and half red on the top. Her big ol' hammer also has prints on it. The main red piece, the round 2x2 brick with the Technic hole going through it, is printed on both sides. That target on the flat end of it, on the 2x2 tile there, is printed. Those are prints specific to this character. Always a luxury to get stuff like that from Lego. The normal outfits for Batman and Robin, of course, and there are some alternate faces to be seen. So there are those, and I also want you to see, of course, the previous faces with any headgear removed, so you can see that more clearly. And for one last thing, just so you can see how the expression comes through when you put the headgear on there, I think that's important to see how it's actually going to look most of the time. I think these are a good range of different expressions that are useful for these characters. Last up, Harley Quinn gets a stud cannon in this set with the 6-stud shooter. I like the wind-up piece on the side, and I like the color scheme for this. It's very, very appropriate for her, and though this is a small thing included in a big set to go against a very large thing, it is able to shoot at the Batwing thanks to the angle, and you know, that's a lot of studs. It's a lot of firepower to actually put up in the air. This set worked out pretty well in my opinion. Large, heavy, sturdy, yet with an efficient use of space, swishable and playable. I think fans of all ages will appreciate the build as well, which is decently advanced, yet not frustrating. That's about all I can say about this set without rambling or getting repetitive. I think the set really speaks for itself for the most part, and the only surprises it has are good ones. It seems like the price to part ratio on this one is good as well. If there's anything you would like to add, or if you have a different opinion, please feel free to share that with the rest of the viewers in the comments on the video down below. Thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you again soon.